Hey guys, today I'm going to cover the wake restriction signs that are posted along all of our intercoastal waterways so you know exactly what they mean and how you should abide by the law for each sign. Now, I'm sure you've all seen the wake restriction signs when you're out boating, but do you fully understand what they mean and why they're in place? The main intent of the wake restriction signs is to drive safety. They're in place to protect endangered species such as our Florida manatees that live in the same places that we enjoy our boats. They're also in place to protect boats from damage in docking areas like this. If you were to drive by too fast, you would create a large wake that could damage the boats along the seawall. They're also posted in high congestion areas such as this anchorage to ensure that the boats are navigating slowly to prevent collisions and allow the operator of the boat time to take action if there was a risk of collision. And they're also posted in high traffic areas, all with the intent of driving safety, preventing collisions, and ensuring the vessel operators have enough range and time to control their vessel to prevent collisions. Think of these wake restriction signs like the reduced speed areas around our schools. Those speed limit signs are in place to protect the children and really establish a safe zone for them. The same thing applies to the wake restriction signs that are posted within our intercoastal waterways. Now, before we dive into the specifics and the definitions by law of these signs, it's important to note that the wake restriction starts at the sign. So what does this mean that it starts at the sign? What it means is that your vessel has to slow down and be at a speed that complies with the posted sign by the time you arrive at the sign. Then when you reach the end of the wake restriction zone, you're going to see a sign that allows you to resume normal, safe operations, which identifies that the wake restriction zone is over. It's important to know when the wake restriction zone starts and when it ends. And this is important to ensure that you don't get a ticket on the water, endanger any wildlife, or even worse, get into an incident with another boat causing property damage and bodily harm. The first one of the wake restriction signs that you're going to see is the idle speed, no wake sign. Now, while this one seems pretty self-explanatory, idle speed, no wake, let's get into the specifics of what the law expects from your vessel when you're navigating through this idle speed, no wake zone. The expectation is that the vessel is going to be navigating at a minimum speed where the vessel can maintain headway and steering. Now let's review it in this diagram to give you a visual of how your vessel should look in the water when you're operating in an idle speed, no wake zone. The bow of the vessel should be settled in the water, having no bow lift, and then at the stern of the vessel, you should not have any visible wake coming from your vessel. Simply stated, in an idle speed, no wake zone, you should be operating as slow as possible while still maintaining forward progress. The next sign is called the slow speed minimum wake zone. Now this zone is less restricting than the idle speed, but it still has some limitations. So by definition, a vessel in a slow speed minimum wake zone must be operating fully off plane, leaving minimum or no wake coming out of the stern of the vessel. So let's review it in the same diagram so you fully understand the restriction. The same as in an idle speed no wake zone, the bow of the vessel must be settled into the water, having no bow lift. But now, at the stern of the vessel, you can have little to no wake coming from your vessel. Now you have a full understanding of what these wake restriction zones are and what the signs mean and why they're in place. Let's all continue to do our part, practice safe boating, and create a safe boating culture for everyone on the water. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.